judge us at the end of the transfer window that's ending today. The two announcements are Louis Williams, center back coming in the summer, and Kosi Thompson,
Yeah.
potential right back coming in rather immediately. What do you think of the transfer window?
Yeah, good. Like I said a few times, we wanted to improve depth in the squad and competition in the squad. So those two are a big part of that jigsaw. Loic, someone we've been chasing for a long time. I think ever since I signed the contract was my first conversation with him. He's a fantastic long-term option for us. We couldn't get him until the summer, but it still made perfect long-term sense to do that, which is something we're keen to do. So yeah, pleased with him and very pleased with Kosi as well.
Matt, you have 2 games out of 5 scoring 4 goals. How far are you from saying you're satisfied?
Yeah, 3 out of 6 if we count Orlando. At the final pre-season game. No, listen, we're pleased to score goals. We're an attacking team, but we want more clean sheets as well. We want to be world class at everything. So a lot of good elements the other night in terms of the performance. Obviously a comprehensive victory. I think we all know that it could have been more as well. We could have scored more goals. I wouldn't say we were efficient in front of goal. So yeah, pleasing steps, but we have to keep working.
After these games, what has surprised you the most about MLS?
No surprises. Listen, I've done a lot of research before I came here. Obviously, spoke to a lot of people, watched a hell of a lot of games, pretty much every game that we played as a club last season. So I feel like I had a good grasp of the league, and I have fantastic staff that are very experienced here and have a great understanding of everything about this league, including the on the pitch stuff, but also the off the pitch nuances. So. We just have to keep working. We have to keep working in our way. We have to keep improving our processes, and we're starting to look like a good team.
Matt, with this break this weekend and the guys having some days off earlier in the week, how are you emphasizing how to balance the time to take away and then working with the performance staff to make sure that the team is still going to be very fit into the next week or two?
Yeah, it was important to give them a rest period, but I'm always a big believer that rest period comes straight after the game. So with the boys had 4 days off. For me, that's done now. They've had their rest and their recovery. You saw the session today. We started with some physical work. We finished with some physical work, and in between that, we played our normal high-intensity football training. So. Yeah, the time for rest and recovery is done. Now it's all eyes on Toronto. Of course, we have a couple of guys away with international, which is great for them. But we have the bulk of the squad here. So already we've started to drip feed in some big principles that we want to work on ahead of that game. The stuff that we felt was below par against KC, of which there was plenty. It's always the same process with us. Don't get carried away with a scoreline. Make sure we analyse the performance without emotion. And there's loads of bits we can improve. So we've worked on some of them today, and we'll continue that tomorrow.
You've previously said with the Sam Lyons transfer that you only want 4 fullbacks. You have 1 more coming in. I don't know if the same as with center backs with Williams coming in the summer. Who's on the outside looking in?
No, not for that. Listen, I think if we're talking about Kosi, I think the thing I love about Kosi is his versatility. He's played a lot of different positions, and watching him, he has the attributes that we need here. He's incredible in the duels, incredible defensive intensity and aggression. So the opportunity to bring him in, especially given his age as well. I really like working with young, hungry players that are on the way up in their career. I class him as one of them. So he comes in and he adds to depth and competition. Obviously, at the minute, we played Jackson at right back the other night. Obviously, Reggie's out for a period of time. Hopefully, it's not too much longer, but you never know with these injuries. And ultimately, I just said to the guys, we're staring down the barrel of 13 games in a very short space of time. So we need as much depth and bodies available as we can get. And in the way we train, the high intensity with which we train, we're always pushing boundaries. I think injuries are going to happen. Unfortunately, that's just a byproduct of what we do. So I'm really pleased to get the depth in, but no one's on the outside looking in.
Matt, what do you have to say about Toronto, and what are the biggest challenge for this team facing them?
Yeah, I'd say at the minute I've only watched them on a really broad level. We won't start our specific analysis of them until 3 days before the game, which is our normal process. Until then, we've had today, we've got tomorrow. We'll then freshen the guys up over the weekend, and then we'll come in for our normal 5-day lead-in on Monday. But we'll have 5 training days, including today, that are solely based around us and our game model. I think by now you guys know me. It's about us putting our identity onto the pitch, making sure we're super strong in how we want to play, how we see our football, our mentality, our physicality, which we saw against KC, which was brilliant, how we finished the game incredibly strong. I thought for want of a better phrase, we ran over them, and that's something we really feel like we can do here. And it's great to do that away from home. Everyone's been talking a lot about the impact of the altitude and the impact that's had on our home games, but in the back of my mind, I never accepted that narrative, and I'm glad the boys went proved a lot of people wrong with that away performance. So Toronto will be a very, very tough game. Every away game here in the MLS, I'm certainly learning that is very difficult. So we're going to have to prepare well. We're going to have to strengthen our identity, then look at the opponent, and then turn up with a proper mentality on game day.
Matt, what's your scouting report on former Rapid Georgi Mihailovic, new addition Josh Sargent, and former Rapids coach Robin Fraser ahead of that matchup?
Yeah, obviously, I don't know the former two guys as well. Obviously, I've heard a lot about them from internal sources here. Josh is someone I know pretty well from the English game. So, side note, but I think a fantastic signing. I think he has all the attributes that a centre forward should have. He works incredibly hard, presses the game brilliantly well. It'll be a handful for every single defence and every single defender in this division. So I'm under no illusions. We're going to have to prepare properly for him. That'll come down to how I study the games, the particular formula that I want to put in out of possession. We change our defensive formula for every single game. We press differently in every single game because every single opponent attacks differently. So it'll be no different for this one. It'll be a bespoke game plan in line with our dominant principles. And excited for the game, looking forward to the game. But my main focus now is making sure that I really nail these next 5 training days, because there's so much within our own philosophy that we need to keep building and keep improving to become the team that we want to become. One example, as I said to the lads there, is like I think we're number 1 in the whole of the MLS for fewest passes turned over. So it shows we're becoming a dominant team with the ball, but we're not attempting enough passes. So that's an area that we have to go there and keep the ball even better.
What do you have to say about Miguel Navarro performance in that game, being the initial team in Kansas City?
Yeah, I thought he was excellent. I mean, I thought many players were very, very good on the night, but I thought Miguel, especially in terms of his energy, his intensity, his forward running, it's a big facet of how I like our fullbacks to play, to come on the inside and to constantly be trying to find the attacking spaces. I thought he did that brilliantly well, and I think that the difficulty sometimes with that position is you don't always get served. So there was a lot of times he arrived beyond Yaps. Certainly in the first half, and he didn't always get served by Yappy. Yaps decided to go himself, which he's able to do because we have different attacking solutions, and that's one of them. So what I loved was his mentality to keep running, and then you saw as soon as I moved Paxton, I think it might have been Paxton's first action of the game, on the left-hand side is Miggy arrives for about the 20th time in the game. Pax plays the perfect pass, and then it's a beautiful one-touch cross, and Rafa's attacking the areas that he should be as a striker. So brilliant goal, brilliant team goal, something we work on the training pitch a lot, so very, very pleased with that. And I think we saw the benefit of giving Miguel extended time to get up to the physical level that everyone else is at, because I was really pleased that he showed his physicality in the game.
Talking about philosophy, when you're in a match, what's the first detail you look at to see if the things are going right or wrong?
Yeah, my first check in the first few seconds of the game is to monitor how the opponent is pressing. It's no secret we want the ball and we're committed to our build-up, so it's imperative that I know from the sideline exactly how the opponent is pressing, and you're always checking it in line with how you prepared the team, because obviously you make your best guess based off your study of the opponent, how you think they're going to jump. Obviously we play a very unique shape, and certainly on goal kicks we have our number 6 is very close to the goalkeeper, so no one else in this division plays in that way. So you're never getting footage of other teams facing it, so you're never certain what the opponent's going to do. You make your best guess based off everything you see from their game. So my first check is always that, exactly how they are pressing. Then as quickly as I can try and communicate with the guys from the sideline in terms of what process we need to make in the build-up, who's going to be the free man, and then I'm always reinforcing that on the sideline. When we do it well, I'll make sure I'm very effusive in my praise and very demonstrative with my body language and clapping them. And then probably, as you guys have noticed, if we get the wrong process, I go the other way and make sure they're crystal clear that we need to do something a little bit different. So that's always the first check, but then I'm also on the flip side, as soon as they have the ball, I need to see how they build up, because we have a specific pressing plan in place for that game. So it's important that I've prepared the guys right. And if, like KC, we're making a few errors, then I quickly need to tell the guys that we need to press a little bit differently. So that's the fun bit of the game, as you can tell from my 45-minute answer. That's the bit of the game that I resonate with and I love. That's my passion, the strategical and tactical side of the game. So that's the most fun bit of the office for me.